Russian troops retreat to the Black Sea after a catastrophic defeat in Makariv. The Russian army has been withdrawn after suffering irreparable losses, and has also been pushed back from an important suburb near Kiev, according to Ukraine. Ukraine's military issued an update on Tuesday morning in which it claimed Russia had lost offensive potential and was forced to withdraw to await reinforcements. Makariv, considered a strategic location about 37 miles from Kiev. In the morning update on March 23, the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine said that Russia had been beaten up by the Ukrainian army and had lost too many soldiers and generals. The Russian army was forced to retreat far away from Makariv to wait because there were not enough troops left to continue fighting with Ukraine. The update said that after a counter-offensive by Ukrainian forces to the south, the enemy was forced to retreat to unfavorable borders towards Mykolaiv, near the Black Sea. The officials added, lost in offensive potential and weaker than the Ukrainian military, the occupying forces are said to have temporarily retreated to call for reinforcements. Ukrainian forces fought back at Makariv to prevent Russian forces from besieging the capital, and Russia withdrew after their encirclement was broken. The Center for Defense Strategy of Ukraine announced that Russian troops in the Okhturka region of Sumy have left the operational area. The think tank said, Russian forces are aware of their hopeless situation and increasingly choose to defect to avoid death.
Ukrainian officials said that their troops have driven Russian forces out of the strategically important town of Makariv, near Kiev. And if Ukrainian forces are confirmed to have retaken Makariv, some 30 miles west of Kiev, it would prevent Russian troops from surrounding Ukraine's capital from the northwest. Russian forces also face being blocked from crossing the Kiev region's Irpin River and capturing Kiev from the west due to growing flooding in the area, according to new satellite images. As Russia's invasion of Ukraine enters a 27th day and Russian President Vladimir Putin's battlefield plan stalls, its military is escalating air and sea campaigns in order to try and end the setbacks. President Biden confirmed Monday that Russia has used a hypersonic missile in Ukraine, though he and the United Kingdom's Ministry of Defense said the weapon was unlikely to materially affect the progress of Russia's invasion. Meanwhile, the Russian military's assault on Mariupol showed no signs of abating, with civilians who have fled the besieged southern port city describing relentless bombardments. In the meantime, the Ukrainian authorities have released new video footage, which is showing their struggle to defend the homeland from Russian invaders. Let's start with this awesome footage, probable from Mariupol, which is showing the impact of US-made Javelin missile against Russian tank. Here is the aftermath of an attack on some Russian vehicle. This is another attack which caught Russians by surprise at nighttime. And at the end, the famous videos with Ukrainian farmers that are towing captured Russian armor, but only this time we have a truck.
The losses of the Russian army in Ukraine are increasing incredibly. While the Ukrainian army inflicts huge losses on the Russian troops, it also captures a lot of equipment as usable. Today, it was reported that the command center of 1RL-257 KRASUKHA-4, one of the most powerful Russian EU systems used by the Ukrainian Army Armed Forces to suppress AWACS radars and radar reconnaissance satellites, near Kyiv. The Ukrainians' capture of the control unit of the Krasuha-4 strategic electronic warfare system near Kyiv was hailed as a great success. According to the data of the General Staff of Ukraine, the Ukrainian Army and Special Forces captured a total of at least 110 tanks and hundreds of armored vehicles as usable and added them to their troops. On Monday, after intense fighting, Ukrainian forces regained control of Makariv, a town west of Kiev that had been battered by Russian airstrikes. It is tempting for the Ukrainian forces to see this minor victory as a shift in momentum in the battle for Kyiv. In better times, this suburb would have been only an hour's drive from Kreshchatyk, the capital's central boulevard.
As the war continues in Ukraine, losses among both Ukrainian and Russian camps continue to rise. According to the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine statement released, Russian Federation is suffering massive losses in personnel as well as in military equipment. The statement released in Telegram from Ukraine forces says that from February 24 to March 22, the Russian invaders lost about 15,300 personnel. Due to high intensity of the war, the statement says that the number of Russian lost personnel is way higher than reported. As the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine posted on Telegram, the enemy also lost 509 tanks, 1,556 armored personnel carriers, 252 artillery systems, 80 multiple launch rocket systems, 45 anti-aircraft warfare systems, 99 aircraft, 123 helicopters, 1,000 vehicles, 3 ships or boats, 70 fuel tanks, 35 unmanned aerial vehicles of operational and tactical level, 15 special equipment units.
Я скажу так, обморожение ног у 50% личного состава. Здесь, я тебе скажу, здесь 200-х отправить не могли нормально, они с нами дней 5 катались. Это было на 4-й день. Он нам, знаешь, что сказал? Ни для кого не секрет, что до конца операции остались считанные часы. Сука, даже в Чечне в свое время такого не было. Намного было, хоть ясно было. Тут такой стресс. Я говорю, нас свой самолет авиабомбы скинул. Не знаю, это, блядь, дурдом нахер. Это спецоперация, блядь.
Милий царі, без жаху і без смерти, на злочин світу станем без ваги. Ми присяглися долю переперти, роздерти присуд смерти ваш боги. Ми присяглися долю переперти, роздерти присуд смерти ваш боги. Роздерли Україну ви на чверти, безсмертну душу вперли в ланцюги. Та ми зродились, щоб за неї вмерти, роздерти присуд смерти ваш боги. Та ми зродились, щоб за неї вмерти, роздерти присуд смерти ваш боги. Нас не злякають танки, ні канони, ми славим правду, Бога новий світ. Вас прокляли замучених мільйони, намест нас гонить, кров їх з роду в рід. Вас прокляли замучених мільйони, намест нас гонить, кров їх з роду в рід. Народ безсмертний переможе в бою, і встане месник із кривавих мук. За нами встане лавою страшною, мільйон мільйонів мускулястих рук. За нами встане малою страшною мільйонів мускулястих рук. Здвигнем заліза з крови і завзяття державу від Дунайця по Кавказ. Ми лицарі, що скинемо прокляття, за смерть ми смертю покараєм вас. Ми лицарі, що скинемо прокляття, за смерть ми смертю покараєм вас.